In 2020, when the world went into lockdown, events went online, and Burning Man took to the Metaverse to provide its experience. What is the Metaverse? Everyone you ask has a different answer. Someone out there must know. Join a group of individuals from across the globe who attended the Multiverse event and the series of events that followed as they continue to gather and experience the mysteries of the Metaverse.
Right here.
Hey, where you guys been?
We've been looking for you.
Have some pickle juice. So, hey, what you guys been up to, man? I just been hanging out here at Burning Man. I always come to Burning Man.
We found a portal, an amazing portal that led us here. And
Really?
where are we?
I had to drive big truck for like 4 days to get here.
Oh, that's a bummer. We should have told you about the special portal that basically
There's a
just
portal?
instantly brought us here.
Oh, look, there was a giant pizza. Oh, look, there's a pizza.
Oh,
Well, you are
okay,
quite a
cool,
magician,
cool.
mystery. That was pretty impressive, I gotta say. This is the one time a year when I leave my cave and I come to Burning Man. It's the one time a year where I expand my drinking from just energy drinks alone to energy drinks and pickle juice.
Yes, it's rather tasty,
Sounds
particularly
like
when it's
pickle.
mixed with sand.
Very refreshing. Leave no trace. You drop anything, forget that 10-second rule. You got to pick it up. You got to take it out with you. What's the easiest way to take it out with you?
10-second
Eat it.
So early, what is going on back here that we can see?
Yeah.
Oh, this
On the
guy,
screen.
his name's Mark Day. He goes around every year and he does a little travel log, talking to people at Burning Man, showing their art. And this is like a big art festival. There's a lot of huge pieces of art out there in the distance. Well, this is what we've been striving for, is to have a film festival. You can go see that guy, the giant octopus, fur shooting octopus. He's pretty
that
cool.
was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
You guys can go check him out. He's out here.
What is this here? It looks like there's some rules here. Some rules of the road.
Yep, these are the
here?
rules.
What do we got
These are the
here?
rules. These are rules. If you don't follow them, you immediately get kicked out of Burning Man. No, you don't. Well, these are the 10 principles that Burning Man is based on. And if you're a good burner, you should be following these principles in everything you do. Not just at Burning Man, but even on into your default life.
They are like strong advisement.
Is that you?
Yeah, there
up
he
there?
is. Yeah, there's Mark.
If you were there in '98, maybe you remember the inception and all the genesis of the principles.
I remember the kind of leave no trace stuff, the no spectators, which I guess has really been reframed as participation and maybe immediacy. If you look at them as the sum of their parts, they seem to work as a functioning system.
Yeah, exactly. You need to look at them
Well,
as a
same
whole. I
as-
think that's the only way they're useful.
I think people need to personalize this stuff and live it rather than try to force it upon other people.
Right. And it doesn't make sense to try and shove a framework or your understanding of one or all of these on another person. They're like guidelines. It's kind of like you're not gonna fall out of this by suddenly commodifying your environment.
They really all kind of mean something and signify something. I feel like we all need to live our lives of what's going to speak to us. But in the same sense, some of these ideals, I almost feel inspired to watch some short films to actually see these things being demonstrated. So then I can go, wow, okay, I get that.
Decommodification isn't a word. Decommodification wasn't a word until Larry Harvey said, we're going to make it a principle right here. Because this is an international community and we're attempting to share our culture. Like decommodification is about like, you're not going to be consciously marketed. To be a little bit real about it, if I'm in my VR headset and someone takes dominion over my experience by throwing an advertisement into my experience that I didn't ask for. A gift can be knowledge. A gift can be time. A gift can be presence.
I feel like we've all been enlightened a bit, and we appreciate the ways of Burning Man.
Like that other thing that people find hard to define, but you know it when you see it.
How are we gonna embrace that? Because art needs to be appreciated. There's a vibe that's coming into existence, and when you appreciate somebody, you could gift them vibes. I want art. Whoever, if you want to create, I'm going to create a space that you have access to be able to receive this energy. And
So basically, this is a gift.
yes, 100%.
Ironically, the person whose bar that this is very against the idea of virtual Burning Man. So I'm quite enjoying filming this in my headset so I can send it to him and go, "See by the back door, and you didn't even know it." But I think I think having more of a critical mass of people online year round may make a difference. That's me as a bunny, yes. Then my bike fell over. That was the wax thing that burned with a very messy smoke plume.
So any advice for us here while we're doing this virtual burn, considering this is another realm that Burning Man exists in, right? That we're watching on the
Yeah.
screen? What would you say to the people out there? Because you have, you're kind of the document, it seems like you are the documentarian of this world right here.
Well, I think like the virtual experience indexes higher on some aspects than others, and that's fine. It allows, it opens things up in terms of accessibility in some senses, but then there are barriers to entry in other senses. So, there is a financial element, some degree involved, although hopefully most people have access to a desktop at least. I still think that, I'm having a very Burning Man-like experience in virtual Burning Man because it's tweaking all the sense memories that I have of being at Burning Man. I don't know what it's like. I don't have any context for what it's like to come here, having not been to the desert and experienced the sweltering heat. I always enjoy the sacred and the profane, a mixture of 1 minute has quite high artistic aspirations, and the next minute you're eating a hot dog. I did a little bit of that last night. Have you seen This World Nymphs?
Yes.
I was in there last night when the guy was doing the walkthrough, and to be in those environments with other people, I think it made a difference being in them on your own, even if you weren't really engaging with the other people, but just to have a little bit more of that sense of communal experience.
The artists Shushu and Nico who built that whole thing, like as you actually brought them up, like it gave me the chills because the sound that exists, the sound design that they put into those worlds, and just like being there, it's like there's a real energy for sure.
Very cool. And yet my friend Steve with the bar feels there is no purpose to being here. And you're like, dude, can I have to see it before you can be sure? I'm biased, obviously.
We can now have this interaction year round with people that normally you could only see for 1 week of the year. Is it still very sacred that 1 week of the year? I believe yes, it is. But now, being able to be connected with these people year round, there's very much a power in that, because now you're building a community that you can be with year round instead of this small 1 week of the year.
Depending on where you live, you probably have a camp where you're doing more year-round stuff. But like the camp that I was part of, and I'm part of, is not really. So you all have that common thing, and I guess it gives you an opportunity to organize more around your interests than the convenience of who you have locally.
Actually, and I love what this is the
Like a
birthday cake right here. is so
It was
important.
so cool, and I kind of wish I'd spent more time inside it. They had essentially these are little calendars. They had little calendar slots for every day of the year, so you
Wow.
could go in and leave a little gift for somebody who shares your birthday, or you could take something away. A lot of little trinkets and stuff, but it's kind of fun. It was still kind of fun experience. And then the idea of a birthday cake being that kind of celebration, kids love birthday cakes. It went up in a spectacular amount of fireworks. I'm not sure where those guys came from, but they weren't local. They had come from somewhere. I couldn't tell you where they're from, but it wasn't an easy experience for them to do all of that. They had to put a lot of work in. So they had kind of pre-built some of a regional event, and then the big event was obviously bringing it to Burning Man and completely it down like that.
Yeah. In true Burning Man fashion, right? They spent all that time building it, and then instead of having to deconstruct it, they just burn it up. Much quicker.
And cleaning up the burn scar is a certain amount of effort.
What advice do you have for us for this week?
See as much as possible. Keep going. There's no time for stopping. Yes, stop and smell the roses, stop and smell the digital roses, stop and admire things. See as much of this as possible, because there's a lot of it around and people have put a lot of work into it. From the perspective of just enjoying the experience, I would see as much as possible. So I guess that all falls under participation. Here are the wax men on fire.
Oh.
On that note, I'm going to sneak off.
Fire.